What's going on, folks? It's your man, Tim Black. I'm your host. This is TTL Media, Tim's Take Live. All right. Phil Robertson is back in the news again because he made some statements on his pulpit, his church in Louisiana. He has some things to say about his critics, all those people who were naysayers last time he talked about the gays. Here's what Phil had to say. Just a piece of it.
Acknowledging their sin like you had better do. They rail against me for giving them the truth about their sin.
Yes, sir.
Don't deceive yourself. You want the verse? The news media didn't even know it was a verse. They thought I would just mouth off. Is homosexual behavior a sin? The guy asked me. I said, do you not know that the wicked will not inherit the kingdom of God? Don't be deceived. Neither the sexually immoral, nor the idolaters, nor adulterers, nor male prostitutes, nor homosexual offenders, nor thieves, nor greedy, nor drunkards, nor slanderers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. I gave him the rest of the story.
So as you can see, Phil Robertson has not changed his viewpoint. Not even 1 centimeter. In fact, he doubled down on what he thought. But you know what? I'm going to say something I know it's going to piss off some people out there. So get ready to get pissed off at me. This may be the last video you watch of mine, because I got to say it. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and she was watching Atlanta, R&B Divas, Atlanta, right? And on that show, and first time I ever even looked at this show, right? But I noticed off the break, there's some lesbians, a lesbian couple on the show, and then there's instances where you see these gay dudes, right? So obviously gay, homosexual guys and lesbians. And I said, in joking, I said, uh-oh, there they go again. An abomination. It's an abomination. That's what it is. But see, I was joking. And I said, no, really, I don't really care, especially when there's lesbians. Cool, right? And she said, I know that's how I feel. At least that's the way I'm supposed to feel. I said, what do you mean that's the way you're supposed to feel? She said, yeah, I know that that's the acceptable way to feel about it, but inside, and it was like a spider crawled up her back. She said, I will never, the thought of lesbians, she said, it just makes me sick. It disgusts me. It's disgusting. And I said, wow, that really means I'll never get a three-way with her, because I won't do a guy and her. So this is, it's out. 3 ways are out with this woman, ever. There's no going back from being disgusted by the act, right? So anyway, so look. I think it's high time that we were open and honest about this. Because in reality, I think a lot of people out there who are saying the right things, they're not really saying the true things about how they really feel about gayness or homosexuality. What you're doing is you're saying what you think needs to be said or what you think should be said. Now me, I'm a dad, right? My oldest son's 16 years old. I'd much rather he grow up to be heterosexual. I don't want him to be a homosexual. I would love him either way, but it's much easier to relate to one another if he is heterosexual. I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that. People talk about the gay agenda. That's only because people are afraid to speak their mind and be truthful. I'll be truthful and honest. I'm for gay rights, but I'm also for heterosexual rights. I'm for all rights as humans, okay? But you're not going to politically correcticize me to death where I can't say what I want to say, right? If I want to say it, I'll say it, and I'm saying it. Now, I made a video before on Phil Robertson, and I was against Phil because I didn't like his statements, but those statements were made in GQ magazine. Those statements were made to a reporter, and I thought he was doing it only to get publicity. This is different. Mr. Robertson is at his church. Mr. Robertson is speaking from his Bible at his church in front of his congregation. And if you go to his church at his congregation and you sit in his pews, then you're going to hear him talk, say what he feels, his understanding of the Bible. And obviously, if you don't like that, you get up and leave. Right? So I don't think anybody should be talking boycotting or being angry or whatever. If you don't want to watch the man, don't watch it. Do I share his beliefs? No, not really. I don't. Not my deal. I don't agree with that all, because in his view of sin, yeah, if that's the case, all of us gonna go. All of us have sinned so much. I mean, come on. But it's just, to me, I think it's hypocritical when you make one sin worse than another sin. And he's saying that, and that's just the way I interpret a lot of Christians who are, opposed to homosexuality, gayness, or whatever. That's the way I see it. So, on this case with Phil, I'm going to give Phil a pass. I think Phil is allowed to speak how he wants to speak in his church. I'd like to know what you guys think about Phil and about his comments. He doubled down on them. He did not retract or backtrack or start lying and start making up stuff or do a fake Donald Sterling. Right? He said it. He meant it. This is the deal. Like it, take it, or leave it. Now, I don't know if he's doing this at all because, Duck Dynasty's not doing so good in the ratings department right now. I don't know why this tape is out now. They got a new season coming up in another month. Go ahead and put that tape over there. But anyway, it's up now, so I'm sure the full force, the Duck Dynasty supporters will be out in full force to support Phil. But I'm not bashing Phil this time. Totally different situation. Hit me up in the comment section. And if you like this content, you like what I do, do me a favor and go buy a t-shirt. Buy a t-shirt. I mean, to order me a couple more of them too. And get one of my free silver cards. It supports this channel. It supports what I do. This is truth telling. The only way you're going to get media that's not bought and paid for by corporate America is to get media that you support yourself. That's how that works. And if you don't support it, it's going to go bye-bye because I really got to eat. All right, I'm Tim Black. This is TTL Media. See you next time. She was like, ugh. Like she physically got ill when I talked about, when they were talking about lesbians and sex. And each his own, right?